technical difficulties. Always. Yeah, he's really, really touchy up here. That's not normal for him?
He just started a few days ago.
Oh, okay.
It's only when I put his halter on. Like he's fine with the bridle and stuff. And he likes it when you massage him.
Okay.
He's been like really, really body sore and back sore. Really bad.
So he's got some soreness at his pole, somewhere up in his pole. A lot of times that stuff's caused by muscle soreness down here where the hyoid bone is. So I'm just trying to find if there's anything down in here that's bothering him. It's a little sensitive here, but you can see when I try to go up here, he's just not interested in that at all. Like, doesn't want you to touch anywhere up in here. When you get close or touch, he just starts shaking his head like that. And it's pretty violent before I started on him. So definitely something going on up here. He's fine down in the mid to lower part of his neck, no problem with that. But you get up there and he is not interested. So trying to figure that part out. There we go. So I'm gonna work on the rest of them and then I'll come back to that pole issue. His tail is really kicked off to the side, but looks like he has an old injury there too. So I like to check the back end first, check pelvic motion, check the SI joints, and then move my way forward from there. And with him being so touchy in the pull, I kind of expect him to be sensitive back here too. He's definitely off on the right side of his pelvis. SI joint is really, really rotated. So I'm going to drop him forward on this side and then adjust it. Really want to come down there, but he does it. And I'm going to check the left side SI joint in the opposite direction. Whew. There we go. Oh, good boy. Oh, there we go. Good boy. That was a good one. Boy. Let's see. There we go. If you guys have any questions or comments, please let me know. Happy to answer any of those. Woo. A little touchy in his withers too. Yep. Let's check the other side. So when I apply pressure to his wither on his left, there's a lot of spasm there. A little more sensitive even on his right. See that? He just wants to go away from the pressure. I'm using pretty light pressure here too. He's trying to tolerate it, but it's clearly uncomfortable. See if he can flex his back comfortably through that part, through the withers and just behind. See, he'll do these things, but it's just irritated. Good boy. So a lot of times when they have issues up in their upper neck like that, if that's uncomfortable and you're working them, they're going to use other areas of their bodies to compensate for that lack of motion, which will make the other areas sore. And sometimes the other areas not moving properly cause what you think is the main problem, in his case, his upper neck or pull area. So always check everything, just in case. Let's see. What you do for these horses. Oh, thank you, Charlie. Appreciate that very much. So I'm going to check him around to his shoulders. And I like that he's dropping his head now for me. That's good. But I'm going to rotate him around and see if he can come touch his shoulder where I'm applying pressure. Let's see. But I got to have him bring his head up first. There we go. Now let's see if he can come around. There we go. Perfect. That's really good news considering how touchy he is up there. Figured I would get some resistance coming around to the shoulder. So I like to see that. So let me check him around to the other side. And doing these checks just lets me see what he's willing to do on his own. And active range of motion, there we go, is so important when you're evaluating. Because if he's not willing to move over there, or he does, but it's improperly, it really helps me to figure out where he's hurting and maybe where that main problem is. So I'm gonna work up on his pole here, see if I can't help him with whatever is going on up in this area. But it feels like it's just that initial touch. After you get up there, then you can rub it and massage it and he's okay. But when you get closer to the ears, that's when he gets to be really unhappy. So he might have some ticks or something stuck in there. See if he'll let me put my finger in there. No, he won't. So maybe we got to get a vet out to check his ears, because he's just not, look at that, just not willing to let me even get close to those ears. So we might be dealing with something in there versus a structural problem, especially if his range of motion was so good. If his range of motion is that good and he's that willing to come around, then I doubt it's an issue with his structure. Oh, buddy. So I'm just going to try to bring his head up. Good boy. Yeah, I mean, that movement at the pole is perfect. So I think we're dealing with an ear issue. Maybe he was sent to training and they twitched him a lot, or maybe he's got some ticks in there or something. You never know. Let me shake that out for a second. There we go. Good boy. But my job is to help these guys feel better and move better. If he's not liking me touching his ears, I'm not going to touch him. I'm not trying to train him and let me touch his ears. But I can pass that information along to the owners, to the trainers, and then they can do what they need to do to correct that problem. And that's one of the reasons why it's so good to have your horses adjusted, because when I'm doing this, I have my hands all over them and I can tell very easily where they're hurting, where they're not moving right, where they just don't like to be touched. And if it's not a chiropractic issue, I can pass that information along to the client, and then they can have the vet check it out, evaluate, and find out what's going on. But you can see already, like, he's much more willing to let me come up here and touch, as long as I don't fuss with his ears. So we can rule out structural stuff, and it really points to something going on in the ear itself. Good boy. I'm going to check his legs. Oh, good boy. Oh, there we go. Big release in that shoulder. Love that. Oh, shit. Just slipped right out of my hand. There we go. Good boy. All right, so they usually love their legs getting stretched. Even if they're fussy with other things, they usually still will calm down and let me stretch out their legs for them. Good boy. Okay. See, he's shaking his head. There's got to be something in there. Good boy. Whoop. Let's go over this way. So, just another benefit of getting them adjusted is to have somebody else's hands on them. And obviously it has to be somebody that's trained and licensed to do this kind of work. And unfortunately, a lot of the people that are out there saying that they're chiropractors are actually not. So that benefit is kind of null and void. I've seen and heard some ridiculous things from other people that are not trained to do this and claim that they do. All the way from people telling me that they don't have a shoulder joint or that they adjusted the clavicle, aka the collarbone, when horses don't have those. So just do your homework on who you're using, protect yourself, protect your horses. But if you can get someone qualified to get their hands on your horses, they'll find issues that you didn't even know existed, and correcting those small issues can really dramatically improve the performance of your horses. Whew. So clearly a little tight in that shoulder there, so I'm going to work that out a little bit. What can I do as a horse owner to keep my horses sound? So, Sarah, one great thing that you can do is to learn how to stretch your horses. And yes, I have a conflict of interest there because I teach a course on how to do that. But the main reason I decided to teach that course was because of questions like that, where people just don't know what they can do themselves to help keep their horses moving and feeling good without having to call a professional out and spending money. So one thing you can do is go to my website. It's sporthorsechiropractic.com. The link is also in the description of this live. And just check out my stretching course. I teach a 90-minute course on how to stretch everything from your horse's poll to its pelvis using pressure points and manual stretches. I think there's 26 individual stretches there. A lot of what I'm doing here is on there. It's just not adjustments. So you can check those out and see if that helps you. I know it will help your horse, but stretching is absolutely amazing for them. And it's free. I mean, other than the course, which isn't very expensive, you know, saving that money will make up for it over a really short period of time. Thank you, R. Pillar. Appreciate that very much. And thank you for the questions and comments, guys. If you don't mind hitting that like button for me, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, that would be awesome as well. I'm putting out content on a daily basis, and I'm going to be putting out a subscriber channel here pretty soon with subscriber-only content and one-on-one access and live or subscriber-only live chats and stuff like that. So if you want more information, click the live, follow the channel, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. That's all right. Thanks, Happy. Thanks for joining. I just have the hind legs. Actually, I got to work that right shoulder because he was uncomfortable there. So let's see what's going on down here. Oh. There we go. All right, so he really yanked this leg away from me a minute ago. So I'm just gonna take my time here. He was fine with this one. He didn't react until I tried to bring the leg out front, and then we kind of saw what happened. So I'm gonna get his attention here. Good boy. I'm just gonna bring this leg out nice and slowly. Good boy. Good boy. Got to be careful with horses with ear issues because they will shake for no reason. So, you know, normally when he bring his head over towards me like that, if a horse did that, I would just sit there and let him hang out there and love on him a little bit. But because he has that ear issue and he's kind of violently shaking his head, I don't want to get whacked by that. So I didn't let him hang out there for too long. There we go. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, there we go. Really nice release in that fetlock. So I'm going to hook him up here and check his hind legs. See, like that's got to be careful of because he's not trying to hurt you, but you could get hurt on accident. Did you get the link I sent? Where did you send it? I did not see a link come through if you sent it here. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'm gonna get his hind legs done. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. You good boy. You good boy. He's so good. Let me know if you have any other questions or comments while I finish up with this guy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. All right. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. So a little tight in the left hind, a little tight in the right front shoulder. Sorry, right shoulder. So a couple things to pass to the owner on him, as well as the issue with likely something in the inside the ear bothering him. Yeah, Sachi, that's what I love to see as I go along, is watching their body language, watching them get more comfortable, watching their head drop, their eyes get soft, the licking and chewing, all of that stuff. I love to see them getting more relaxed as I go. That's when I really know that I'm doing a lot of good for them, not just helping with motion, but actually helping them be able to relax and feel better. Oh, thank you, Angelica. Appreciate that very much. Awesome. I'm going to stretch his jaw out. Awesome. Thank you guys for the likes. I greatly appreciate it. If you haven't done so yet, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button for me. It really helps us as creators to get our names out there and spreads the word, helps the algorithm spread our content. So would greatly appreciate it if you don't mind doing that. And I also have a very active TikTok channel. It's just at sport.horse.chiropractic. You just search Sport Horse Chiropractic on there, you'll find me. And I have a shop on there where I'm selling my products. I think I have my shop on YouTube here as well. But you can get hats and shirts and tumblers, and my stretching masterclass link is there as well. But if you want to see more lives, I typically do more lives on TikTok right now because I'll get a few hundred followers and a few hundred people watching the video. Whereas on TikTok, I'll get around, usually I'll get between 20 and 50, somewhere around there. So I'm growing my YouTube channel, but my TikTok channel is super busy and I share a lot of content on there as well. So take a look at that if you want more content. Otherwise, I will see you on my next YouTube Live. Thank you so much and have a wonderful rest of your day.